So coming onto your mat, simple seated position, sitting tall, shoulders over your hips and your ears over your shoulders. Focusing on your breath. We'll inhale and do some shoulder shrugs here. So just inhaling, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, release. Again, inhale. Exhale, release. Go right into some shoulder rolls. Shoulders go up towards the ears and then melt down the back. And then switching directions. Just noticing any tension, creating a release here. And then let's inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, press down. Again, strong arms here. Inhale up. Exhale, release. This time inhaling up, we'll add a twist. So twisting to the left. Left arm comes to the base of the spine, right arm on the outside of the thigh. Still sitting nice and tall. Inhale up, switching sides. Exhale, twist. Good, and let's just flow through that a few times. So inhale, exhale, twist. Good, inhale, switching, exhale, twist. And then inhale the arms up, back to center. And we'll take those hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. And just really get open and wide through the chest, shoulders away from the ears, a nice stretch through the front side of the body. Good, now switching the opposite foot in front. And then reaching forward, hinging at the hips, letting the head hang heavy. And just send your breath to your low back, maybe in between those shoulders, wherever you feel tension, need to create some space here. With your exhale, release any tension or tightness. And then pressing back up, we'll come onto all fours or tabletop position. Hands under shoulders and knees under hips. And we'll do some cat-cow. So for cow, we'll look up, our tailbone will tilt up, our belly melts to the mat. And then rounding the back for cat, tucking the chin to the chest, tailbone tucks under. And just repeating that. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat, warming up the spine. Good, one more time. Inhaling for cow. Exhale, cat, really push through the back of the heart. Good, now take the knees a little wider. Bring the left hand under the chin and then twist and reach with the right hand, stacking the shoulders. And then with your exhale, you're releasing, switching sides, right hand under the chin, left hand reaches. Really extend through those fingertips. Exhale, release, switching again, just flowing through that now. Every inhale and exhale tells you when to move. Good, this time inhaling up, we'll take this right hand underneath the left. We'll come to rest on the outside of the right shoulder. And then the left hand will reach for the opposite corner of the mat, creating a twist here. Really reaching through those fingertips if it's okay for your shoulder. And then big inhales and exhales, just melting into that pose. Good, then walking back up. We'll do one more reach with this right hand, inhaling up and exhale, release. Switching it up now, left hand will reach first. And with your exhale, you'll thread this through, resting on the outside of that left shoulder. Right arm reaches over to the opposite corner. And that twist really starts at the waist, comes all the way through the armpit, and then up through those fingertips. And then we'll walk that hand back in. One last reach with this right hand. Inhaling. Exhale, release. Come back to your tabletop, getting ready for down dog. We're going to tuck those toes under, We'll round or cat the back and then push up and back with those hips and just start to move into the back side of the body, whether you're bending the knees, pedaling the feet, maybe lifting up onto those toes and then driving those heels back down. Fingertips should be spread wide here. You're pressing the mat away from you with your hands and just moving to create some warmth through the body. Getting warm, getting ready for our flow. So from down dog, we'll get ready to do our flow. So still just creating some movement here in your down dog if you need to, whatever you need here. And then we'll start to warm up the legs a little bit more. So we'll just lift this right leg, not too high, maybe circle the ankle, flex and point here. And then switch to the left leg, whatever feels good. Coming into a plank pose, we'll start to warm up the shoulders. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale again to plank. Feel free to put your knees down to modify. Exhale back to down dog. Then lift the right leg, maybe a little higher this time. Really pointing through the toes and then stepping this leg up, framing your foot with both hands in a runner's lunge. Just working into this right hip a little bit. Stretching still on the left hip flexor and setting up for warrior one. So blading the back foot at 45 degrees and then lifting up, reaching the arms overhead. Hips and shoulders are facing the front of your mat. And then interlacing the hands behind you, doing a slight back bend here to open up the front of the body. And then we'll hinge forward for a humble warrior. You can bring your arms up with you if you'd like for a shoulder stretch or just leave them at the base of the spine. Lots of breath here. Inhaling back up to warrior one, maybe sinking a little deeper this time into the pose. And then opening up to your first warrior two, so the hips and shoulders are now facing the side of your mat. Nice strong arms. And then windmill the hands down, framing the foot again. Stepping it back. You can go right to down dog here, or you can go through your flow. So go through your plank, your chaturanga, inhale for your up dog, and then exhale back to your down dog. If you don't feel like doing those flows, you can always skip them. Moving to the left side now, left leg reaches, stepping it up, framing the foot with both hands. Runner's lunge on this side. Might feel a little bit different. So just breathe through that stretch here. And then we'll get ready for warrior one. So 45-degree angle in that back foot, lifting up. Nice and strong, warrior one, keeping the core nice and tight, belly button pulled into the spine. And then again, interlacing those hands behind you, hinging from the hips. Note, first we're gonna look up, again, open up that chest, and then hinge from those hips for a humble warrior. And again, choose where your hands go based on how your shoulders feel. And then inhaling up again, we'll come right back into that warrior one. Sink a little deeper this time, if you'd like. And then opening up to your warrior two. Really strong arms here, so hug the muscle to the bone in those arms. Keep that tailbone tucked under. And then let's frame that front foot again. Step it back and feel free to take it through your flow, either from your knees or your toes. Inhaling to up dog. Exhaling back to down dog. Good. We'll do that same flow again. So heading back to the right side here, stepping it up, just moving a little faster, inhaling to warrior one, interlacing those hands, going right into that humble warrior. And so now we're just moving one breath to one movement instead of spending time with several breaths in each pose. Good. So we've done the right side now. You can take it through your flow here, really work on the upper body strength with this chaturanga push-up. up dog and down dog. And we'll do the left side, same thing. Stepping up to runner's lunge, inhaling right up into your warrior one. Setting up for your humble warrior, hinging at the hip. And again, one breath to one movement, back to warrior one. And then opening up to your warrior two, nice and strong. And then framing the foot again, runner's lunge. Step it back, and again, taking it through your flow. Now we'll get into a little bit of some deeper stretches. So let's lift the right leg again. Step this right foot up. Go ahead and set the back knee down. And just really sink into this stretch a little bit deeper, letting the hips melt towards the floor. Really focusing on inhales and exhales here in these deeper stretches. Go ahead and bring the left hand inside the right foot. Let's take a twist here, reaching the right arm up. Trying to stack those shoulders. Good. Then bringing that right arm inside that right foot, and then just sort of walk that right foot out a little bit. Roll onto the outside of that right foot. Let the knee fall out. And you continue to walk your hands down if you're able to get a little bit deeper in that stretch. Good. Then we're going to walk all the way into pigeon now. So bring the right knee to the right wrist and the left or the right ankle to the left wrist. Now if your foot comes in more towards your hip, that's a little bit gentler version of this pigeon. Or if you keep that shin parallel to the front of your mat, you'll get a little bit deeper into the back of those hips and glutes. And then just lots of breath in this pose. You can always use a block here if you have one underneath that right hip. And this is a pose we like to stay in for just a little bit longer. Really release some tension in those tight hips. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and prop yourself up and then work that right leg back. And then just come back into your down dog, and we'll switch that up. Do the same thing on the other side, stepping the left foot up, bringing the right knee to the mat. And I'll try to show some different block variations here. So the block is the best tool, one of the best props we have in yoga, and you can use it when you just can't quite get to the floor, whether it be with your hands, your hips. And so again, we're just getting a little bit deeper into this hip stretch. And then we'll bring the right hand inside the left foot, twist and reach with that left hand. And then we'll bring the left hand inside the left foot, walk that left foot out a little bit, roll onto the outside edge, and let the knee fall open. And then walking all the way across here to your pigeon pose. This side might feel different, so just find your version of pigeon on this side, trying to keep the hips parallel to the mat. And so here the block might go under the left hip, or you might use the block to rest your head, wherever you need it, to give you a little bit of a help to really be able to relax and release into this pose. Sending your breath to wherever you feel tension. And when you're ready, you can slowly walk it back up. And release that. And then we'll meet, of course, back in our down dog once again. So just find your way back into that pose. Step it out, walk it out, whatever you need to do there. And let's push back into our child's pose here. So the knees can be as wide as the mat and the hips sit on the heels. Or if you prefer, the knees can be closer together and you can round the upper body over the legs. Just trying to create a little bit of a rounded spine here, stretching through the low back, the shoulders, Feel free to stack your fist for a pillow if it feels better on your shoulders. And then we'll come into our simple seated pose and then right into our reclining supine pose, bringing our knees toward our chest, hugging those knees in, and then just rocking gently side to side. And when you're ready, coming into a spinal twist, so knees are stacked, and just letting them fall together to one side or the other, trying to maintain nice flat shoulders against your mat. And when you're ready, exhaling, switching sides, really wringing out any tension here. And then again with your exhale, bringing those knees back to center. One more hug. And then coming into our Shavasana, or our final resting pose. The legs will go long on the mat. Hands will be at your sides, palm facing up. And spend several minutes here in your final pose.